Hello, hello. Hi, Roy. Hi, Sarah. Hello. Alrighty. Well, we had some others sign up for today, but welcome to the TCN. I'm Sahar Rose Devore, the founder and CEO of the Travel Coach Network. So every first Wednesday of every month, I hold these live Q&A sessions. Hi, Sarah. Drop in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. Live Q&A sessions for members of the Travel Coach Network or certification program, and for those who are just in our global community and have questions or want to learn more about travel coaching, or want even just guidance and support in how you're doing things on your own. So I really opened up these sessions for any of that. So any sort of questions or guidance that you do want, whether it's feedback on a niche that you're thinking about, or just simple questions that you have about the certification program or the TCN in general. If we don't have questions, what I typically just do is give a rundown on getting started, some things to think about when you get started as a travel coach and start your own business, as well as talk about our program, our certification program, and especially since we have the Black Friday sale happening. Sarah is in Colorado. We just had someone else join from Colorado too. Okay, let's get Melinda on here. All right. If you guys do have any questions, please do drop them in the chat, and I'm happy to answer them for you. Hi, Melinda. Hello, hello. All right. Melinda is a
Hello,
member,
hello.
recently joined the Travel Coach Certification Program. Hi, Melinda. I was just saying that I'm just here to answer any questions, whether it's about the program, whether it's about your business. I'm here to give you guys whatever insight, information that you're looking for and guidance. I'll join you on a video. Done eating, no worries at all. um, Perfect. So I'm going to, do we have any questions to start off with? Melinda, do you have any questions for me or Roy?
No, I'll listen for a bit. Thanks.
This is being recorded. It will be sent out as well. So you can always go back and watch the replay if you'd like. So, how to get started as a travel coach. So there are some things that I want you guys to think about. First, let's get started. Like, what is a travel coach? Many of you might be here saying, "What's a travel coach, Sahara? Tell me about that." Versus, and then how to get started. So you guys obviously have heard about a travel advisor, travel agent. I use those pretty interchangeably, but I think they're called travel advisors now, according to the ASTA, American Society of Travel Advisors. And we've heard of a travel agency or travel agent, and that's very much about planning a trip, working with clients, creating itineraries, planning and booking their trips for them. It's a little bit more of a transactional phase. And a little bit about me first is that I studied hospitality and tourism management. I didn't really find anything in the industry at the time, back in 2010 when I graduated, of that I wanted to do when it came to traveling. I wanted something that allowed me to travel a bit more than just being a flight attendant or a travel agent or just anything else in the travel industry or hospitality. I didn't want to work in hotels. And so I decided to go backpacking. I backpacked to 8 different countries in the span of 10 years solo, and learned a lot about the industry then, and was realizing what travel was doing for myself, as well as had tens of thousands of conversations with other travelers on what travel was doing for them as well, why they were traveling, why they kept going back to travel, why we get addicted to travel, right? Why we catch the travel bug. And there's a lot of actually research out there. So I spent a lot of time diving into that research on the mental, emotional, physical, social wellness benefits that travel actually does for us. And I was wondering why this emotional appeal to travel wasn't present in the travel industry when it came to marketing, or how travel was being planned or talked about, booked, or sold. And so I started my own wellness travel coaching business in 2010 when I came across the coaching industry. And I put two and two together and said, I want to be a travel coach. And I still do a little bit of that today. I am a wellness travel coach. I speak to different companies. So I get paid to travel and stand on stages at different events and talk about this holistic approach to wellness travel for corporate travelers. That's how I wanted to structure my business. And soon after, I founded the Travel Coach Network. So right now, we're a global platform, global community. We have just reached 710 members in our travel coach certification program from 40 plus different countries, so around the world. And a travel coach is, think more like life coaching plus travel. helps people set intentions for their trips and bring awareness to why they want to travel, and help people use travel as a tool for things like transformation, healing, self-discovery, clarity, personal growth, professional development, all of these underlying reasons why we sit and scroll and Google flights and scroll on Instagram and envy people traveling, and why we love travel so much and what travel does for each and every one of us at different stages in our lives. Travel coaching really brings all of that to the forefront as the intention for the trip. So instead of it thinking of it as planning a trip and taking a vacation and coming back from that vacation and doing it all over again, travel is can be a really important tool for our life in general, right? So it can help us at different stages and to help us reach whatever goals we do have. There's a reason why solo female travel and women travel, the industries are on the rise. Journey Woman is one of our partners, and they're a key example of the rise in women solo travel and women travel in general. And there's a lot of this emotional underlying reasons why we travel and why we love travel and what it does for us. So travel coaching really brings that to the forefront. How travel coaches create their revenue streams. We're a big believer in the TCN that just because coach is in the term travel coach, you do not have to work one-on-one with individuals if you don't want to. That's personally not how I wanted to structure my wellness coaching, travel coaching business. And so we teach you in our program what kind of revenue streams can you create beyond just one-on-one or group coaching. So whether they're digital products, let me get one more person on here, whether they're digital products, whether they are affiliate marketing, whether they are referral commissions, whether they are retreats, or you are a travel agent or advisor and you combine that into how you work with people as a travel coach. So we have had an abundance of travel advisors, agents come in, tour operators, life coaches, health coaches, medical experts, retreat leaders, come in and learn how they can combine the concept of travel coaching with that role that they do want to have. We teach you guys how to create a business that aligns with your skills, your interests, your passions, what you care about, and who you want to serve, because that's going to look different for everyone. The travel agent industry has always been like, if you want to be a travel agent, it's more of a cookie cutter. This is how you do it. This is how you're trained. This is what you do and you don't do. But in the world of coaching, the world is your oyster. You create your business and you structure it what makes you excited and happy to do every day, and based off of the value and the experience and the journey that you're taking your clients on. So that's going to look different. So some people want to be retreat leaders as well. So we partner with retreat companies, or we teach you how to partner with retreat leaders. So whether you want to wear the hat in your business or you want to find someone you can partner or collaborate with that can add that value for you, and vice versa. How you as a travel coach can go to retreat leaders, how you can go to corporate wellness, how you can go to travel agents and add your value to what they do, and turn it into a business. Hi, Sarah. And hi, Chris, for joining. At any point, if you guys have questions, please drop them in the chat. You can also just unmute yourself or raise your hand too. I'm happy to answer any questions about anything today, okay? So right now I'm just talking about travel coaching in general. What is it? How travel coaches make money. There's a common questions. I don't know if you guys saw an article from Hilton came out a couple weeks ago. I did a post on LinkedIn, if you guys follow me on LinkedIn, about it, and it was titled they did a survey and it was titled why 2026 is going to be the year of the whycation. And I found that very exciting just because that's exactly what travel coaching is all about, setting intentions and helping people bring awareness to their why. So why do they want to travel? What are they looking to get out of this experience? How do they want to feel during and after the trip? And how can that trip really enhance who they are and the life that they want to have, right? Chris, did you have a question?
No.
Okay, I thought I saw you unmute yourself. You might have just been unmuted. I'm letting someone else on here. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Drop any questions you guys have in the chat. If there's something that you guys are specifically working on or thinking about, or you want me to help you figure out who your ideal client could be, please, I'm here to help you guys with whatever it might be. Right now, I'm just talking about travel coaching in general. What is a travel coach? And we're talking about how do you partner, who do you partner with, how do you create revenue streams? Any other common questions, please let me know. I will go into how to get started on your own. Okay. So, hi there. Any questions at the moment? So what to do to get started as a travel coach. So there in the program, we teach you how to set a solid foundation for your business. Every business, no matter what kind of business you have to have a solid foundation for it. What do I mean by that? So if you guys have our free introduction to travel coaching course, there is I think it was a 6-day workshop that we held last year, and I went through some of the foundational pieces. So, who is your ideal client? What is your niche? What is your brand story? What is your core message? And what is your framework? So, those are 5 important pieces. So, your ideal client, what niche, your framework, your brand story, your core message. Those are just 5 pieces of the foundation. And so I'll go through some of these pieces here. You need to know who exactly you're speaking to. And this is something in the world of travel that's been a little bit difficult for other types of travel business owners hi Sandra, is because we like to say, well, everyone likes to travel. And so I'll just serve anyone who wants to travel, right? But the thing about travel coaching isn't that we're not coaching people how to travel. You're coaching people on how to integrate travel into their life for whatever it is that they're looking to do or accomplish, or to enhance their travel experiences. And so sometimes your ideal clients may not even be thinking about travel. So, for example, we have travel coaches who focus on busy working moms or burnt out professionals or caregivers or someone going through loss or grief, life transitions. So these are really important times that people start thinking about a change, right? They know they need something different. They need to mix things up in their life. They need to have some different habits or change of routine or just go about things differently, start taking care of themselves first. But they're so busy with work and caring for others and their business or whatever it is they're going through in their life, that a vacation, a getaway is not, yeah, that looks great for someone else that they're scrolling across on Instagram, but for them, it doesn't sound feasible. So they may not even be thinking about it. That's where marketing comes in. Marketing 101 is you're convincing someone that they need something before they even know that they need it. And it doesn't take much to convince someone that they need to take a trip, right? People love to travel. And so as a travel coach, you need to know exactly who are you speaking to and how can you touch on their specific pain points. That's another foundational piece are the pain points of your ideal clients. And I'll share what that means here. And then not only the pain points, but the why. Why should they care about travel? So let's talk about those pain points. I know it's not a great word. People always ask, like, let's come up with a different term, but it really just means like what really gets your ideal client ticking, moving. What do they think about? What do they want? What do they dream about? How do they feel? What's happening in their life right now? Right? So all the things that any brand, any company who knows exactly who their client is, and I'm talking about just in general, I'm not talking about just travel, any brand, let's talk about Pepsi or Coca-Cola or Frito-Lay, any of these people, they know exactly who they're trying to sell to because they understand you. They know you, they know their client. So they know what they desire, what they want, what their lifestyle looks like, what their dream lifestyle looks like, right? So again, whoever you want to serve, look at their relationships, their work life, their professional goals. Maybe it's personal goals. Are they a mom? How do they want to show up as a mom? How do they want to show up in their marriage? Everyone has a different ideal client. So understand their pain points. We give a task of figuring out or writing down 50 pain points of your ideal clients. I know it's hard. That sounds like a lot. It is. But I promise you, that challenge is so necessary because when you start writing these down, I guarantee you guys are right away going to put down their gender, their age range, their demographic, their income level, their interests, their passions, their previous travel experiences and preferences. That's all been done in the travel industry. That old school way of figuring out your niche is no longer that. You cannot group people who want a certain type of experience or transformation through travel in the same category of all women, all men, only with this income level, only has this educational background. That's not how we help people have these important, meaningful experiences. So knowing these pain points, when you start getting down to about the, I don't know, 15, 20th mark, that's where the real pain points come into play. That's where you really start to understand your ideal clients. So that's where you start digging and say, okay, what's the first thing they think about when they wake up in the morning? What's the last thing that goes to their mind when they go to bed? If they could wave a magic wand, how do they want their life to look like? Their relationships, their work life, everything. Understand them. What do they value? What do they not value? This is what understanding your ideal clients is all about. And that's important for any business out there. So knowing who exactly you serve, so that your ideal clients and what it is, like why would travel be something that they should consider or that could help them? And what is it about travel? So over here on this other side is that why? Why should they care? Just because you're saying, hey, you should take a trip, it will help you, or going to this destination is so great, or going on this retreat is amazing, or working with me to help you coach you to take your first solo trip would be what you need. But what? What does that mean? Why should they care? What is it about travel? And that can look different for a lot of you guys. So, what I call them the elements of travel. And so, what I mean by that is, what is it about travel that is so powerful? Is it time and nature, time and space to think? Is it the human connection aspect of it? Is it the stories that you gain for yourself? Is it the bonding the strengthening of relationships of the people you travel with? Is it immersing into another culture? And what does that even mean? Like, why is that important? What is getting yourself into some other type of person's lifestyle or hearing different languages actually do for you? So what is it? Is it the navigation? Is it being faced with new problems and having to solve them on your own? What is it about travel? Have a couple of those or a handful of those that your ideal client could benefit from, that they should care about, right? So now you're starting to be able to paint that picture for them of why a travel experience is something that can help them at this point in their life, right? Dealing with whatever it is they're going through, whatever is making them want to feel that change. Because that's why we travel. When we sell travel, I say there's no such thing as selling travel because what people are really looking for, people are not buying a trip, they're not buying a flight. They want to change. They want to feel something different. Even if it's just a weekend getaway, they want to come back feeling different. If we crave an escape, if we want to get away, what are we getting away from? What are your ideal clients going towards? So how do they want to feel? That's that emotional appeal to travel that is so important. Emotions and storytelling is key in any business. Okay. So you have to tap into that. You have your ideal client, you understand their pain points, you know the why for travel. Why should they care about it? And with that why for travel, you can create a framework out of that. So if you talk about nature and human connection and the wellness side of travel, you can put these into kind of categories, right? So you can talk about maybe it is the professional development side that travel can help them with, boost creativity, innovation, get their creative juices flowing, and spark synapses in their brains to exercise different parts of their brains to work on the project they're working on. That's stuff that I talk about for corporate travelers. But again, depends on who your ideal client is. So creating a framework. So it could be like the wellness category. What does that mean? What about the mental wellness aspect of travel for your ideal client? What about the physical? What about the social? What about the emotional wellness benefits? And if you guys are feeling stuck, use your own anecdotal, your own stories, your own experiences. But there are decades of research out there, you guys, and we put some of this into the program for you in one of the modules. There are decades of research out there that talks about all of this. There's studies and statistics and articles and so much out there. That's essentially how I built my wellness travel coaching business. I just took this information and went to companies and they're like, this is amazing. come on stage and I'll pay you. And so finding what pieces of that are aligned with and resonate with your ideal clients. Okay. So you have your ideal clients and their pain points. You understand like why they should have this type of travel experience. And that also goes into the revenue streams or the offers that you have. A lot of our coaches run retreats, they have group trips, they do just private one-on-one, they have group coaching, they have memberships, they have online communities, they have digital products. So those offers, I won't go too deep into all of that today, but there's so many different revenue streams you can create as a travel coach and what we teach you. And so you have these two sides here. Now, how do you help people? What are you actually doing to help them? What does that journey look like? That's that space in between. Okay, they go from point A to point Z. What needs to happen in between? And that's going to look different for every ideal client or every type of client, right? Are you helping them go from, we have travel coaches help people move abroad. That's going to look like a different process than someone who helps someone take their first solo trip or help someone incorporate travel for a healing process or help someone go on a retreat to connect with like-minded creative individuals. So figure out for you, map down who your ideal client is and what needs to happen during that journey. Okay. And that is the fun part. You get to figure out, how do I serve them? How, are you showing up one-on-one? Is there a community aspect? Is that important? That connection? Is it like sometimes we have travel coaches who create communities or groups or group trips or experiences because the pain points of the ideal clients they can share with one another. So maybe there are burnt out moms or overworked moms or empty nesters who are not sure what to do in this phase of their life, or they're newly divorced or going through heartbreak, and that's something that they want connection and community to lean on one another. So figure out if maybe that human connection is a key part of that. If community is a key part of that, maybe you tap into your own skills and your own interests. We have a lot of travel coaches who are passionate about somatic movement or yoga or meditation or mindfulness or journaling or art or whatever it might be. You guys all have something different that you feel is important. We have ones who focus on education. So can you add an educational component to that, depending on your clients? So you can really customize how the journey that you take your ideal clients on in order to help them achieve what it is that you're helping them achieve. So what does that trip or that transformation look like? So what do they really want? What are they going to get out of the value by working with you or learning from you or buying from you? Okay. Any questions at the moment? I know I'm telling you guys a lot. I see a lot of note taking, which is great, but any questions, any clarity that we need? And if I'm fumbling over my words, I've been speaking for the past, good Lord, it's almost 2:30 where I am, so since 8 a.m. So
Can you talk more about the corporate world and how this might be introduced? Because I think that's such a great place to offer this.
yeah, I'm glad actually you brought that up because in half an hour, since you're in the program, Melinda, today is our continuing education session. So for those who are not in the program, every month at different days, different times, I hold a continuing education session. It's just a topic that I either think is important for you guys, or you guys have asked about, or industry news or trends, bring in and teach on that. So I'll expand upon that even further in the session. It's all about partnerships and corporate wellness is part of that. But yeah, so it depends on what you're offering, what problem you're solving for the corporate space. So of course, corporate wellness is a growing, well, it was a trend, but it's like a growing space that there's a lot of different compartments within that. So if you, one of the things that's popular is reconnecting team members who are dispersed by being remote workers. So a lot of companies are paying for people to host experiences that bring people together. There are, of
I'm
course,
listening to a Zoom call right now.
um, and So that is one. Corporate retreats is another. So again, if you want to do, there's executive, higher up corporate retreats. That's quite popular too. So that's where the company sends all their like top level executives and management to retreats to, I don't know, brainstorm and connect and um, innovate and stuff like that. Um, there are companies who figure out how to integrate different aspects of travel into their workplace. So it's Salesforce created this outdoor nature hub environment dome type of thing that brings the nature to their office space. So you can train on these different elements of these what I call elements of travel, introducing that. What I did is I focused on business travelers. There was a big, they call them road warriors, people who travel a lot for business, burnout epidemic happening pre-pandemic. And that was taking a huge toll amongst business travelers. And obviously, if someone's traveling for business, the company's paying them to do a job. They have a reason they're traveling to make a sale, build a relationship, land a deal, strengthen something, get ideas, whatever. And if someone is burnt out, has, you know, some of the stats or things that they talked about in research was that like the increase of bad habits, so increase of smoking, increased drinking, weight gain, health issues, obesity, poor family dynamics, lack of sleep, all of these different things were happening to people traveling a lot for business. And then pandemic happened. And so companies needed to convince them to get back on the road. But why would they want to do that after they had a couple of years of like rethinking of where their values align with who they work with and what they do for work? And so I brought this information on the mental, emotional, physical, social wellness benefits based off all the research out there, even professional development. There's a lot of research on how travel can help you with that. To these companies for their travel managers or the people who book the trips for the business travelers to look at, because wellness became a big thing. Everyone wanted to talk about wellness, just like sustainability post pandemic. And so everyone created some sort of wellness initiative or programs. So travel became part of that. And so help them give ideas on how to the business traveler can integrate what was happening during their trip and what travel can do for you into making them feel better and perform better and be more productive and be happier and all of that stuff. So that's who I focused on was business travelers. But corporate wellness is a big umbrella, or the corporate space. You got to figure out who you're serving. Um, I know as travel coaches who work with individual corporate executives who help them have travel experiences that help them reach whatever goals, specific goals they have personally and professionally as well. So it really depends on what you guys are looking for. Hope that answered your question, Melinda. Let me know if you'll join us in the next one, I can answer more. I'll continue on with the foundation, your brand story. Every brand, every company has a brand story. Your brand story is essentially the genesis of why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. So what sparked, why are you helping people in travel? Why travel? What did travel do for you? And what happened? Was there a turning point? There's an actual structure for this. I won't go through that, but it is in the replay in the free introduction to travel coaching course. But you want to start like go back before travel was even a thing in your life. What was happening? What was causing you to feel how you were feeling? Brand stories are strategic. That's why they're a brand story, not just a story. So you have to have your ideal client in mind. They should always be in mind in every part of your brand story. It should be about 3 paragraphs. So your brand story is not that long. So that's why it's supposed to be strategic and specific. So think about how your ideal clients are feeling now. Where are they in their life now? Can you relate to anything like that? What can they relate to about you and your past? Okay. What sparked travel? What was it? What gave you that inspiration to travel or got you to go on that solo trip or you went on that cruise and you had an aha, what kind of aha moments? What changes, what transformations, right? So take them through this journey of this low and high and then led you to who you want to help now. Okay. Hi, Deep. Hi. Deep's in the program. I'm just talking about the foundation for travel, getting started in travel coaching and brand story. Um, I find that people struggle with a brand story a lot. And one of the common reasons I find is that I guarantee you guys, I want you guys all after this call to really sit down and figure out your own why for travel. And I guarantee you, your why for travel isn't your real why. Your initial why is not your real why. I want you to dig a little deeper. We tend to either block out or not acknowledge or think that it's not that relevant, that parts of our stories are really important to why we're doing what we're doing or why we even travel in the first place and what travel does for us. Okay. When I ask people, why do you like to travel? And if I get answers like, I like to see new sights, meet new people, try new foods, have new experiences, go on adventures, that tells me absolutely nothing of why they travel and what travel does to them, does for them. Doesn't mean those things aren't true, but you have to pull back those layers and figure out why do experiences mean something to you? Why do you like connecting with new people? What does getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new do for you? You know, why did you make decisions to go where you went or do what you do? Okay. So I want you to really do some deep dive into that. That's really important, especially in the world of travel coaching, is because doing that practice on yourself not only is essential for your business and your brand that you're building, it's going to help differentiate you from everyone else out there, right? Um, but it's also important to help you figure out how do you help your clients unveil those whys, right? Because in the world of travel, people aren't used to being asked, why do you want to go on this trip? They're just asked, where do you want to go? How many people? What's your budget? Where have you gone in the past? What do you like to do? How many kids do you have? What are their preferences? Um, any, special limitations or specialties that we should know about? What are your loyalty points with? What kind of hotels? You get it. Travel coaching and the future of travel, like the study from Hilton Hotel said, it's all about the whycation. And that's where the future of travel is going. We hear terms like transformative travel and meaningful travel and intentional travel and mindful travel and all these words, even wellness travel and sustainability too. They go under the same umbrella. It all has a purpose to why we travel, right? And so travel coaching is just putting that first so that travel can be intentional because it's already intentional. It's unintentionally used. Um, and it's an afterthought, right? We're like, wow, that I love that trip. They did something for me. Or I can't wait to go on another trip. But flipping the script on how we think about and use travel, and how we guide our clients to use travel. Okay. Questions about anything?
Hi.
Hi.
So I just found you like I think 2 days ago, and it's like a breath of fresh air because I also want to go into travel, but I didn't want to do the whole like being agent, whatever, travel agent. And I did, and I was part of it for like 8 months and didn't do anything with it. So there must be a reason. Um, so I actually haven't been traveling, but it's something that so I want to make sure that like this is the right time for me. So I don't haven't been traveling, but it's like time to travel, right? But one of the things that I really have changed my life is ways to raise your frequency. That's really like created magic and miracles in my life, right? And so I thinking that I can put that into the traveling. Like I also want to work with entrepreneurs. So like I'm thinking like, how do you travel in a high vibration? Because I know that when you're in high vibration, like amazing things happen. Like you meet the right people, you have the right downloads. I mean, it's awesome, right? So like I want to learn, or I want to transfer that into travel. So when I do travel, so even though I haven't really experienced it in the travel world, but I have experienced it in my own life. And I'm thinking like maybe work with entrepreneurs where like maybe they're stuck and they feel like just like stagnant, or maybe maybe they do a lot of business trips, like you said, but they don't know how to travel, so they're always tired, or they don't, you know what I mean? They're like depleted by
Yep.
the time they get there or they come back. So like creating like a protocol, so when you travel, you literally when you come back, you're just as high, like even high, more high than you were when you came back or
Yeah.
when you left. Makes sense.
Yeah, that totally
So
makes sense.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah. First of all, how do you pronounce your name? What's your name?
Itachiaya,
Itatiaya.
correct.
What is that?
It's a Brazilian name. It's the name of a mountain in Brazil.
Itatiaya. I've never heard that. That's amazing.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, as you were explaining that, I had all these different ideas and things and people and examples coming to mind. First of all, you guys get really surprised of when you get super specific on what you do and who you help, the type of businesses that I know people do, especially in the corporate space, of what people train people on. And so that's, I love that. It came to mind because in our TCN membership club, we brought in a friend of mine who teaches human design. I don't know if you listen to She's a God podcast, but Jen Torres, she did a training and created a workbook on how travel coaches can combine just very simple, basic human design into working with their clients to help their clients figure out how to um, well, one, how to work with their clients, but two, how to help them make travel decisions that align best with just how they're designed. So it's kind of similar in the sense where like that is something that a lot of people are looking for. And there's so many different things you can combine travel coaching with. Um, but when it comes to I guess I don't really know what your question is. I think that's a great idea. I can definitely see it happening for executives or just business owners in general or creatives in general. Again, you'd have to figure out like what kind of strategy you want to have and who exactly you would want to help with that. Um, as for like the travel agent stuff that I didn't mention for you guys is that many people are travel advisors, travel agents because they want to still wear that hat and get commissions. But one of the things that we do in the TCN is through our strategic partnerships, we because there's a lot of people like myself, I never want to be a travel agent and deal with the bookings and all of that. But the commission thing is something that people are like, oh, well, I want to earn commission from it. So through some of our partners that we bring in, there's still opportunities to earn commissions um, from hotels and retreats and resorts and any of their partners. So still thinking that that's a possibility to really sculpt your business in ways, and we provide those different opportunities for you guys too. Um, but I don't know if I had answered a specific question
Yeah,
for
I
you guys.
guess I wanted to know if it was a good idea. And then two, like, I mean, you said yes, so that's amazing. And then like, because I haven't done it myself, even though
Mhm.
I haven't done it through travel. So do you
Yeah.
think it's a good idea just to kind of like, okay, I'm going to travel now and I'm going to implement all these things that I know to like raise my vibration and then just be like the example or to just like go on this journey with them and just kind of like co-create together? Because I don't have proof yet like while traveling, but I have proof in my own life. Does that make sense? Is that a good idea, or
Yeah,
how would you go
so
about that?
that does make total sense of questioning of whether, because I've heard people say, well, I don't really travel or I haven't traveled that much. Can I be a travel coach? It's not about how much you travel or how often you travel. I personally don't even really travel much anymore because I have a 2-year-old. But um, it's what matters is what impact did travel do for you? What are you passionate about? And what information do you have to guide your clients on? And that doesn't have to be firsthand information. That could be like I did through corporate. I never traveled for corporate just to serve business travelers. I never worked in the corporate world. Um, there's so much research out there. So I would spend some time doing research on just literally Googling or use ChatGPT on how can traveling rate help you raise your vibrations, how can being in nature, the power of blue and green spaces. So take whatever it is that you personally believe and how can that be translated to travel. That makes sense?
Perfect. Thank you so, so much.
Welcome. Tachiyaya. Did I say that right? You don't say that initial I, right?
Itachiaya.
Itachiyaya.
Yes.
Itachiyaya.
Thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Hi Sahara, I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
I've been following you for a tiny bit, so I just finished my IPAC training and I'm gonna get ready to do my ICF and kind of am at that spot where the niche I thought I was going down that road, I was like, I don't want to do this at all. And I keep coming back, and all these things are like, what are you good at? What do you like to do? And it's like travel, travel, travel. And somehow I stumbled. I think I literally Googled, could I be a travel coach? That's how I found you.
Yeah.
And I watched like your class and your replays, and I'm eventually probably going to sign up because I'll need some continuing ed hours, and
Mhm.
I'm interested in doing this. And I'm wanting to work with like single women. My first solo trip was to Paris off from a really bad breakup. And I've done them periodically throughout my life solo off after breakups, but also just now once a year I go. But I'm kind of struggling with, like I want to go kind of like that confidence building self-worth, like that
Mhm.
kind of route, because that's sort of what it has done for me, and enabled me to live my life and stop waiting, right, for a plus one, because I'm 46, I'm still not married, and if I never took trips, I would never go anywhere, right? So that's kind of like the angle. But I think where I'm struggling is before I kind of start committing to putting myself out there in that space, like what might be some low level offers or kind of, ways to start engaging that conversation. Like, I want to do like some help people plan their trips and things like that. But I feel like I kind of I'm like, oh, this is a great idea, but I have no idea like where to go or what
Yeah.
to really start with.
Yeah, that's a great question. So what I would recommend is I wouldn't think the helping people plan trips at this point. I would start thinking about what I was talking about today of really tuning into the messaging of your ideal client. So getting into your own emotions that you were experiencing before you booked or while or before you booked that trip to Paris. And sharing your story. Very simple. I tell people just start sharing your story. That's even just from like people on TikTok and influencer standpoint, they don't have an agenda usually. They just start sharing about themselves and their lives, and they develop a following. It's the same concept. I'm not saying you guys need to be influencers by any means, but it's about sharing your story. Your story is what is so important, and you'd be really surprised by who comes to you. So if you guys don't have a crystal clear map on what to offer and who exactly to serve or how to serve them, your audience will tell you. They will ask. So just start simple and start sharing your story. Share your ideas, your expertise. There's four kind of content pieces of content that you guys can post: inspirational, educational, motivational, and salesy. Okay. So inspirational, inspire them through your own experiences and your own stories. And not only travel related, but your own. What have you gone through? What have you overcome? What did you realize? How do you live your life now? What have you been able to accomplish because you took that solo trip? What did it take to do that solo trip? Educational. So educate them. What are these benefits of travel? Educate them on how to start planning a trip. What should they start thinking about? How can they prepare about this mentally, physically, emotionally, logistically? And that's where some of that advice on travel planning can come in. And then motivational, motivate them to make that change, to take that leap, to do everything that maybe you were holding yourself. I'm just talking in general now here. That motivate them to take that leap. Anything that you've been holding yourself back, or maybe they have limiting beliefs similar to what you had back then, right? Maybe going through a breakup, people tend to, not saying it's your story, tend to have like lived the life that their partner wanted them to live, or they would make decisions that would lessen their own, what they really wanted and let everyone else put themselves first, or they lack confidence, or that they always thought they had to depend or rely on someone else. And now they're free and they're like, what do I do? And so travel can help you realize this sense of freedom that you can have for yourself and that you can really sculpt this life that, empowers you. But that seems so far away for your ideal clients, right? So start by sharing your story, your tips, what you did, how you took that leap, and they see you as that expert. They see you as a person that motivates them, inspires them. That's when they start reaching out and saying, you know, how do you have a guide for me? How can I learn from you? Do you offer anything? So starting with your story and having a place that you can drive people to. Okay. So is that like an online community? Is that like choose somewhere? Is that your social media you want to? I always recommend capturing people. You want to have a lead magnet. If you feel like you have some sort of good idea of who you want to serve or the main problem you're solving for them, create a lead magnet. For you, Sarah, it could be let me think of a good lead magnet for you. Titles are everything. So if you're trying to help, so I'm literally making this up, so it's not going to sound that great, but something along the lines of like become who you're meant to become or live the life that you want to live post breakup, or don't let that breakup turn you into a person or something like that. Like whatever it is that you felt like I went from this to this and I want to help my ideal clients go from this to this, put that in a title because that's the lead magnet. They see it and they're like, I want to feel like that. For lead, I want to do a full training on lead magnets. It's a whole different story, but you don't want just another packing list. You don't want another checklist. You don't want another bucket list or you should go to these places. Like those exist out there, you guys. I want you to create something that speaks specifically to the main problem that you are solving for your ideal client. That's how you capture them. So get them onto a mailing list. You don't have to do very much from there. Just give them that. And then you can start sharing your story through there or get them in a Facebook group or an online community. So story, figuring out where you're going to drive people to and capturing them in some way is a good place to start. And why you want to capture them and have them in a place is one, they can connect with each other, especially those your ideal clients, Sarah. They can bounce ideas off each other, support each other. You're like, oh, wait, what? Everyone wants to meet up? Okay, I'll run a group trip. I'll run a retreat, or I'll partner with someone and I'll get a commission for the retreat, or I'll hold a virtual group coaching session. That becomes easier to figure out how you can serve your audience, your ideal clients. Does this make sense?
No, I mean, it's perfect. I think I just maybe needed a little bit of validation to kind of keep pushing forward because I mean, that's exactly where I want to go with the group
Yeah,
coaching and I want to do retreats and, be part
yeah.
of that and really create like an online community. And one of the pieces that I'm planning to work in that I'm hoping will set me apart is for dealing with the fallout of a trip as well. Because a lot of times for me, when you're going off that breakup and you're like, oh, this is going to change my life, and it
Mhm.
changes it temporarily while you're away for
Yeah,
2 weeks. And then you come back and you're like, oh shit, my
yeah,
life is still here and I'm still sad and I don't know what to do. And that
yeah.
was great. But like, I know for me, I didn't want to come home, right? Like, but you kind of have to have a plan to deal with that. So I think I want to incorporate some of that
Well,
in.
that's the concept of coaching. That's the difference between a travel agent who books trips and plans trips and someone who coaches someone through the journey. It's about, we teach you the pre, the during, and the post trip. And that post trip is so important for that transformation to actually happen. So through coaching, the fundamentals of accountability and support and guidance and all of that is what we teach, which I'm sure you learned through some of that through ICF.
Yeah, through like my program. And then I did watch your 6-part, I think it was six
The
days
workshop,
class.
yeah.
And oh my gosh, I ended up with 23 pages of notes. I was like, but it was fantastic. And I'm just so glad that I found you and I was able to join today because I think this is the direction that I'm definitely going to go in. Um, it's the only thing that excites me, to be honest.
That two people that from the TCN you should follow or look up, Sarah. Two of our travel coaches, they've been certified for a while. Alyssa Nagoski on Instagram, she's Solo Girl Wanders. And then Alessia Tenebruso, she is One Girl Travel, I think it is on Instagram. Similar demographic, similar stories. So kind of take a look at how they share, how they show up, stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, our community is just a great place to kind of bounce ideas off of each other and get support too. And I
And
will
I had
answer, yeah.
I
Go
do
ahead.
have one other question.
Yes.
Because I know like you have like the coaching program and stuff, and then you have like your group, like I'm part of your free group right now, but you also have like the TCN, like a paid group, right? But can you be part of that without necessarily doing the class yet? Or is that like how does I
Are you
didn't
talking
know if
about
those
the
are two
Facebook group, the Travel Coach Entrepreneurs Facebook group?
Yeah, there's like two. I'm right now I'm in
Yeah.
whichever one is your
The
free one
TCN
that
Global
lets
community
you.
is open. Yeah. No, the other one is specific for the people in the program. We do have a very low cost membership club, literally right now on sale for like $5 a month or 59 for the year. But the membership club, I don't think necessarily would be what you need right now because that's more of like adding value. So we bring in different guests. There's media opportunities we give. So that's more of like added once you kind of have this foundation to help boost you with and support you through your journey. With that said, I don't know if you did see, we do have a Black Friday sale happening. That's $597. It's usually just under $2,000. It's the lowest price we're going to offer it at, and that's only for this Black Friday. It's even going to go up during next holiday or Christmas next time. So if you are considering it, don't feel like you need to do it now. I'm just talking in general to everyone. It is self-paced. You guys can get in at this price and you can start whenever you want. You have lifetime access to it. And so you can start when you're ready, finish when you're ready as well. So we created that way so you guys don't have the pressure to have to like try to get through it. Okay. Melinda, you asked about talk about creating an online community. I will briefly talk about that. We do have our training coming up after this, but Melinda, since you're in the program in the replay cabin in the certification program, I actually did a full training on that as one of our monthly sessions on how to create an online community and why you would need one. So just like a basic thing about online community is know exactly who you're trying to speak to and where you're trying to essentially house them. Where do you want to put them? Obviously, I use Facebook. There's so many platforms out there. Circle is a popular one. So where can you put this community? Even from just like a social media standpoint, people have communities just as followers who engage and you get value to them. So you got to figure out where you're going to put people or what platform do you want to use for this community and what's the purpose of it, right? Like, why do you want to create a community? Not saying that you have to necessarily do it to make money from it, but like, what value are you going to give them? Like, why should people follow you or join your community versus everyone else's communities that are out there? Okay. But I want you to go back and like, there's actual steps on creating communities in the replay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So in the replays in the course.
In there, yep, go into the certification program and go to the replay cabin. That's where we
Okay.
put all of our replays. And then you'll find it on there. If you have any issues, just email me, okay? And I'll
Thank
grab the
you.
link. Any other questions, guys? And if you do want to join, I don't have the sale price on the website yet, but just I'll put it in the chat. It's also at the top of the landing page, early BF, so early Black Friday.
How long is that
Um,
sale gonna go on for?
This is through, let me look at the calendar. This goes through the end of the month, so December 1st it expires. Monday, December 1st. We'll change the price directly on the webpage on the 13th of November, but as of now, you just got to use that code. So it's 70% off. And that gets you all of the stuff included. Okay, guys?
So even though the email says you have 5 days, that's not, it's really
So that,
until-
yeah, so that is that's a good point. That is not the Black Friday sale. That is when you first join our newsletter. You have 5 days to join at that price, and that link completely disappears and won't work anymore.
Okay.
It'll take you back to this landing page. So it happens to be the same price. Actually, yeah, it happens to be the same price.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, that's just because you just recently joined our mailing list. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining today. A lot of really great questions. If any other questions do pop up, please do. You can reach out to me, send me a message on social media. You could drop the question in the TCN Global Community on Facebook. And I will send out this replay as well, just so you can go back and listen to all of the stuff we talked about today if you guys want to. Okay. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining, and I will see those in the program in the next few minutes. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye.